Have y'all seen the video that a lady posted recently who said she came upon a very tragic accident very recently where there's an overturned van that was hit by an 18-wheeler? Sound familiar? Now, the lady never says Angie Stone's name or says anything about Angie Stone. She's just telling about the incident. And the incident sounds identical to the Angie Stone incident.
Angie Stone. Right. How does it rest in peace?
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if you heard I think, unfortunately, I think she passed away trying to chase that Bruno Mars Uptown Funk record. Yeah, because, she believed.
About 4 a.m. on Saturday morning, me and my daughter were driving to Charleston, South Carolina for her Sweet 16 birthday getaway. We came up to a truck with a trailer and its flashers were on, so we slowed down some. And that's when I noticed there was an overturned vehicle in the fast lane. And it looked like it just happened. I pulled over, I put my flashers on, and I told my daughter to stay in the car. And I ran over, it was a van, and I ran over, and there were so many people in this van, and they were just trying to get out. And I asked if they called the cops, and they said, we're just trying to get out. And they were helping this woman out off the side of the van, and I grabbed her hand and I helped her get down, and she seemed out of it, and I was holding her hand and she was wobbling around, and I said, baby, you gotta sit down. And then the next thing I know, I flew and I fell down to the ground, and it felt like something not ran over me, but brushed over me. Like something just swiped over my body. And I got up and I could hear screaming, and I just focused in on one screaming, and it was my daughter. And all I could do was run across the highway and tell her to get back in the car. She had to move the car because if somebody else hit us, it could hit her. So she moved the car farther up the interstate, and I called 911, and they said they were on their way. And then all I could think to do was get to my daughter. And that's all I could do in that time. And when I was walking to my daughter, we're really running the best that I can do. I was in so much pain. My chest felt like an elephant was sitting on it. My legs were so hurt and sore. And I looked up, and there was an 18-wheeler there to cross the median into oncoming traffic. And I knew that's what hit me and ran over and brushed over me was the 18-wheeler. And my daughter's freaking out. She had already called my husband by then and my father-in-law. And I just told her, we've got to get to the hospital. I can't breathe. It was so hard to breathe. I'm gonna post a video of the 18-wheeler after I left the hospital, driving back through to get to my husband and my son. I will not be posting the vehicle in the video because somebody did pass away. They did. And I won't be posting that for respect for their family. I'm sore, I'm bruised on the right side of my body. I'm very stiff everywhere. But I will keep you guys updated, and the video is gonna come at the end, okay? Hug your family tight. Hug your family tight. Bye.
That she owned a piece of that copyright because of, her record that came out under Sequence, under Sugar Hill Records. Yeah, Sugar Hill had Angie Stone as a group called Sequence, Cheryl Pearl, Blondie, Angie Stone. They were the female version of the Sugar Hill Gang. And they were actually they wrote Apache, they co-wrote Apache, they co-wrote some of the Sugar Hill Gang's records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, I think she was trying to chase down that along with some other issues that she had with maybe her publisher and whoever else that she was dealing with. But yeah, it's highly unfortunate what happened, but I think the family will probably take care of it. And I got a call recently from a relative. Like I said, I was on the Star Show the other day, and the show was dedicated to Angie Stone. And I got one of her relatives to reach out to me, or one of her people reached out to me in the DM saying that, hey, we're gonna try to, use you to, help whatever issues that she got. So,
So do you think there's money there?
Oh, I know there's money there. There's no, at the end of the day, yes. Yeah, there's money there. Yeah, for sure.
What if I told you one of the most iconic voices in neo-soul was sidelined by the very industry she helped build? Angie Stone's story is filled with shocking revelations, untold struggles, and a legacy that's still unfolding. From being excluded from Oprah's Neo-Soul special to allegations of industry sabotage, Angie's journey is one of resilience and heartbreak. But what really happened behind the scenes, and why are so many questions still unanswered? Let's dive in. Angie Stone, the woman who helped discover artists like Alicia Keys and Jill Scott, was reportedly deemed too heavy by Clive Davis to appear on Oprah's iconic Neo-Soul special. Imagine this, the same woman who had a hand in launching the careers of some of Neo-Soul's biggest names was told she didn't fit the image for the genre's biggest TV moment. According to sources close to Angie, this rejection left her devastated, so much so that she allegedly cried for 40 days and 40 nights. Whether that's an exaggeration or not, one thing is clear. This was a deeply personal blow, and it gets worse. This was the same Clive Davis who relied on Angie's expertise to sign artists like Alicia Keys and Jill Scott, making the snub even more painful. How could someone who trusted her judgment turn around and reject her so publicly? But the Oprah snub wasn't the only blow to Angie's confidence. Allegations have surfaced that Alicia Keys made disparaging remarks about Angie's appearance, even mimicking her in a way that's been described as deeply hurtful. While these claims remain unverified, they paint a troubling picture of the dynamics between two artists who should have been allies. It's a stark reminder of how the industry can pit women against each other, even when they're fighting for the same recognition. And for Angie, who had already faced so much rejection, these alleged comments only added to the weight she carried. Beyond the personal slights, Angie faced a much larger battle, reclaiming ownership of her music. Enter Stone Paxton, a key figure in helping Angie uncover missing publishing credits and unregistered songs. According to Paxton, Angie's catalog was riddled with discrepancies, songs she wrote but never received credit for. Week after week, Paxton and his team worked tirelessly to track down Angie's missing royalties, uncovering a web of industry secrets along the way. But what they discovered was just the tip of the iceberg. Angie wasn't just fighting for her music, she was fighting for her legacy. In the final years of her life, Angie was ready to leave the road behind. She was just 1 week away from finalizing a Las Vegas residency, a dream that would have allowed her to perform without the grueling demands of touring. According to Stone Paxton, this residency was more than just a career move, it was a chance for Angie to focus on her health and well-being. But fate had other plans. Had the residency been secured, Angie might never have been on the road that fateful day. It's a heartbreaking what if that still haunts those who knew her. Angie's untimely death has sparked countless conspiracy theories, with some pointing fingers at industry figures like Clive Davis. While Stone Paxton has criticized the speculation, he's also hinted that there's more to the story, information he's not yet ready to share. What exactly does he know? And when will the full truth come to light? For now, all we have are questions, and a legacy that continues to inspire. Despite the challenges, Angie Stone's legacy is undeniable. She paved the way for countless artists and left behind a catalog of music that continues to inspire. But as we celebrate her contributions, we have to ask, how many other artists are still fighting for the recognition they deserve? Angie's story is a reminder that the music industry isn't always kind to those who help build it, and it's up to us to keep her memory alive, not just as a talented artist, but as a woman who refused to back down. From industry snubs to battles over publishing, Angie Stone's story is a reminder of the harsh realities many artists face behind the scenes.
What my involvement was with Angie, and that involvement is when you hear her, and it's because when Angie was talking on one of her videos, a few of her videos, she mentioned my name, and when she speaks of the Diesel crew, she's talking about us, the West Coast crew, and she talks about her team that has discovered things and has unveiled things for her. We took over doing the forensic for finding her songs that were missing that she couldn't find. And, you know, it's weird because it was a process and it was week after week. We were on the phone, we were talking and blah, blah. you from one end to the other spectrum when it comes to the music industry. And we did discover a lot of her stuff that was not in her name, and we were the ones that actually had to let her know. The company that I worked for, the TBC Group, my big brother Vasal Benford, the CEO of the TBC Group and TBC Group Management, we were the ones that took over finding the songs, shall I say. I'm trying to make sure I say the right word, because I don't want anybody to see this video and then they'll take the video and run with it and take parts from it. We were the ones that decided to go and search and find where her publishing was. And we started discovering various things, various situations with her publishing and what was going on with it. And we presented it to her and told her that there was no publishing in her name. And then there were some songs that she had done through the years that weren't even registered in her name, that had never been registered. But we started to find stuff that didn't make sense, per se, right? I'm not mentioning any names. We're just going to talk in general. Angie was very sharp. You know, although she didn't know full details, she knew something wasn't right. And that's why we came on board. Not only that, we were also the ones that were setting up her residency, the TBC Group Management, TBC Group Entertainment, okay? Setting up her residency for Las Vegas. We were 1 week out from that before Angie passed. We were going to fly her out here and have her do her paperwork for her residency in Las Vegas. And the whole purpose, so that you understand, for her residency in Las Vegas was so that she did not have to tour. She didn't want to be on the road anymore. These were her feelings. These were her thoughts. She just wanted to be in one place because of her health issues. She wanted to be in one place. She didn't want to be going from here to there. And I kind of, I cried. I've cried so many days because I was saying to myself, I wish that we had closed on her residency and she wouldn't have to be on the road. She would have never had to have been on the road, which this accident would have never happened, because it would have been a different time, different process, different circumstance, different universal law. Had she been here in Vegas doing her residency, thus she would still be here. These things would have never happened. That's my belief, okay? So Angie did not want to be on the road touring, and that's a fact. Now, I'm not telling you something I heard from YouTube. I'm not telling you something that I went on another blogger's page and I found and I decided to share this. No, I'm telling you something from the circle, from the inside, from the group that was representing her. So when she say Diesel crew, she was talking about her West Coast crew, she was talking about us. We were the ones that came on and discovered, and we were the ones that told her that none of these songs were in her name. We were the ones that told her that the publishing was somewhere else. You know what I mean? And we had various calls with people that were involved with her on the legal side of things, and people that were involved with her on the publishing side of things. And she made me record these phone calls, you guys. She would call me and say, Stoney, I'm going to call you back. Because we would call each other Stoney. I would call her Stoney. She called me Stoney. It's a nickname she made up for me. We just call each other Stoney, right? She said, that's our inside thing. So she would call me and she said, Stoney, I'm going to call you, but I want you to record this phone call. So I have phone calls, recorded phone calls with conversations about her publishing that she had with certain industry people and some of her legal people. I have those recorded calls. Now, will I ever post those calls? Absolutely not. Because those calls were strictly for Angie, not for anybody to hear, period. I would never post those phone calls, just so you guys know. But I do have those calls, right? We also did a agreement with Angie to be able to go after her publishing and collect, the TBC Group. We have an agreement, signed agreement to represent her and to go out and collect all of that publishing for her. So that's my involvement. The only reason I got on camera and I'm doing this is because so many people have inboxed me from my YouTube video and the TikTok video, and they're saying, hey man, I heard Angie mention your name. Like, what's your involvement with her? I heard her say Stone Paxton. And so many people are asking me. I said, you know what? I wasn't going to do a video, but let me get on here and just tell people what our involvement was. Now, as far as that accident, I know a lot about that, and I'm not going to talk about that right now, but trust and believe, I'm definitely going to talk about that. And I'm going to share some things with you, but I'm not going to talk now. And this is my truth, because I know about certain things, because I was privy for being involved in the circle and helping her gain her publishing back and find where her songs were and help her get her catalog back. I was a part of that team. I've been a part of that team, helping her do that. So that's how my name got brought into the equation, as far as just Angie mentioning my diesel crew, and she's mentioning Stone, Paxton, and my big brother Basal and the TBC group. That's why she mentioned our names, because we were helping her. We were helping Angie. And I would talk to Angie 3 or 4 days a week, in long hours when I talked to her. These weren't short phone calls. These weren't 1 minute phone calls. These were typically anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, sometimes 3 hour calls, conversations with Angie, talking about her business and the publishing. And she was very upset about so many people that had taken her songs and taken credit for and never gave her credit. We have conversations about all kinds of stuff, even text conversations I could post. I would never post my personal text conversations with her, but we have tons of back and forth text conversations about tons of things, music industry topics. You know what I mean? Tons of things. Sorry, something's on my hand here. So I had to get on here and just explain to you guys, for those that keep messaging me, asking me questions about Angie and what's my involvement with Angie. That's my involvement. Is I was a part of the team, the diesel crew that she mentioned. And it's unfortunate that that particular name she used, you know, if you knew Angie, she was a person of words. She was a poet. Everything rhymed, everything it flowed, everything always made sense with her. Words flowed. So it's just coincidental she mentioned that name and mentioned us as a diesel crew, and then what happened to her. You know, we're very bothered by her not being here. But just so you know, when she says diesel crew, for all your conspiracy people out there, we are the diesel crew, and whatever is in your mind and thoughts, far from that, you guys. And give the family a break, you guys. You guys have been on here for these conspiracy people. You guys really don't have no love for people's privacy and the family, and you're on here saying negative stuff about the family. You got to put yourself in that position. How would you feel if somebody was talking about your loved one and then also saying negative stuff about you at the same time? So have consideration, you guys. If you don't know really what has happened, you're speculating constantly, but you're also throwing things out there that are not even true. If you want to know, let the people talk that know first. Let the people that are involved talk, and then you'll know the truth. But other than that, all these people trying to get views and likes for, you know, saying things that they don't even know about. I done seen psychics saying stuff. Now, I will say, some of those psychics have said things that I've said, they kind of on point, right? But yeah, man, it's very, very, there's a huge dynamic with this. And trust me, this thing with Angie is not over with. My love and condolences goes out to the kids. The memorial is tomorrow. The viewing is Thursday, and memorial's Thursday. The viewing is Friday, and the funeral is Saturday. So, yeah, man, I still have to prepare myself if I want to get on an airplane with all these planes doing what they're doing. I don't even know, you guys, but for the love of Angie Stone, you guys, we love her. And I'm Stone Paxton, and that's why she mentioned my name. And yeah, man, this has a part 2 to it. So I will be back, all right, with other information. Peace and love, you guys.
What do you think about the allegations surrounding Angie's career? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories from the music industry. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.